morning. This is an exciting day. We're so happy to see each and every one of you present today. This is probably the most exciting advisory that I believe the superintendent hosts each year. You are a part of the Student Council Advisory, and I just want to thank a few people. One, your school leaders and your counselors and teachers and everyone who played an instrumental role in selecting you to be here today. We believe that your voice is just as important as the district leaders and school leaders in making decisions that impact you every single day. So with that, we want to hear from you today, and we want you to ask questions. You have your superintendent here who has taken the time to meet with you for 2 hours. We have some important information to share from our district leaders, and so within that time frame, we want to hear from you. So we have 2 microphones set up, as you can see, towards the center aisles here. We want to be able to share and exchange some critical information today. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started just to share with you the agenda or program for today. You're going to hear from the superintendent in just a moment, who will provide greetings and updates, particular to our district improvements and data reports and things of that nature. But first, I want to let you know that we will dismiss our high school students maybe 30 minutes within our program to the recital hall. I'll come back and make that announcement, but I just want you to know that we will dismiss our high school students around about 10:30 or 10:45, so our superintendent and our deputy superintendent can talk to you about some critical things that's happening within our school district that you should weigh in on. So that will happen momentarily, but without further ado, I won't belabor the point of the program today. I would like to bring to, we don't have a podium now, but to the floor, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Morcease J. Beasley.
Hello, everybody. Well, welcome back. And those of you who have come here for the first time, welcome to the Student Advisory. We're so excited that you're here. I hope that you're having a good year. If you're not, you got to make sure you hurry and have a better year, because it will be over before you know it. It's going so quickly. Well, so I can get an idea of who's where and what levels. All the elementary students, raise your hand. Grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Wow, excellent, excellent, good. What about middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade? Very good, very good. And high school, where are you, our high school folk? 9 through 12, excellent, excellent. Well, we're glad to have you here today. We've got a pretty good agenda, and we'll, of course, we want to always have time for you to share and ask questions so we can respond. So just a few things that I wanted to share with you. Last year we had about, I want to say about 3 of these meetings, and we'll probably have about 3 scheduled this year. And this is really our chance to really hear from you as we work as a team. That means administration, teachers, principals, all of us work as a team to move our district forward. Hopefully, you are seeing the progress that we're making as a school system, as it's being printed or at least shared on all of our websites, our social media platforms, even as the AJC is pushing out information, and as information is being shared on Channel 2 and Channel 5 and all the other television and radio stations. Our goal is to make sure that you are very proud of the school system, and to also make sure that people know what great things, awesome things our students are doing here in Clayton County Public Schools. You say, why does that matter? Look at your neighbor and say, it all matters. I'll tell you why it matters, especially to our seniors. When our seniors apply to go to college, people Google, the people that look over their applications to decide if they will accept them into their colleges, they Google information about their school systems. They want to know, are we accepting students from school systems that are successful, that are preparing students to do very well? And so it all matters. It all matters. As we're improving, as we're moving all the data in the right direction, it matters that we share with our public, our Clayton County community, our Metro Atlanta community at large, our state, the work that we're doing and the successes that we're experiencing. because people come to some type of conclusion about who we are as a community based upon what they hear or what they believe or perceive through what they're hearing or what they're seeing. And so it all matters. So this is our opportunity as we engage parents and we engage teachers and we engage administrators and we engage business leaders and we engage community members. We also know how important it is to engage our students, because in actuality, you're the ones that's experiencing what's offered in our schools every day. Every day. And no matter what decisions we make, we have to always be mindful that our decisions impact you and how you matriculate or advance or go from grade to grade in our school system. So what I'd like to do very quickly, I want to first start out by acknowledging that our purpose, your purpose of coming to K-12 education, from pre-K if you went to pre-K, kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, our purpose is to graduate you. That's why we exist. You should graduate from high school and you should graduate college and career ready. So with that being stated, I wanted to start out by first acknowledging that our grad rate in Clayton County has improved. Let's give a hand to Clayton County. So you should know, if you've not read, if you've not heard by now, that for the first time in our history, our grad rate is above 70%. That's pretty good. And you say, why is that 70%? It's about 71.6%. Why is that monumental? You should also know you live in a county that has the highest mobility rate in the state. I'll listen to that. That means that on any given day, our mobility rate is 30%. We have the highest mobility rate in the state. That means that on any given day, 30% of our students are either coming into the school system or doing what? Leaving out. And many times they come back and what? Back and forth. Why is that the case? There are many factors, many variables that play into that. But you should know that. And that's why when we look at our grad rate, that now we're above 70%, even though 30% of our kids are in and out of our school system, that makes our data even more impressive. Now listen to this. We have 11 comprehensive high schools. We have one alternative high school, which is, we just made it an alternative high school this year, but we have 11 schools, high schools, regular high schools. Out of the 11 high schools, 7 of the 11 have 80% or higher grad rates. Give it up for those schools. Out of the 7, 2 of them have a 100% grad rate. And so let's acknowledge our schools. I hope all the high schools are here, because we need to give them a great shout out. Stillwell Performing Arts. Where are you, Stillwell? 100% grad rate. Keep up the good work. That was an increase of 0.8 of a point. Y'all didn't have much to get there. You got that. Elite Scholars. Are you here, Elite Scholars? Where are you, Elite Scholars? Oh, no, break. Oh, they so fortunate. 100%. Let's give them a hand while they're on break. Lovejoy High School. Where are you, Lovejoy? Listen to this. Lovejoy had the highest increase this year. They increased 14.64 points. They are now at 83.24%. Lovejoy! Mount Zion, are you here? I know you are. Mount Zion increased 11.60 points. They are now at 83.3. Excellent. Mundiesville High School. Where are you, Mundiesville? And I know you got Dr. Green here. He's at Jackson Elementary as a principal, but he was at Mundiesville is at 71.36. First time above 70 since we started keeping up with grad rates. Give it up for North Clayton. Drew High School, where are you, Drew? Woo! First time above 70 at 70.34. Went up 8 points this year. 8 points. In Forest Park High School, where are you, Forest Park? Woo! Went up 7 points, down at 70.24%. Give all of our high schools a great round of applause. We're very pleased that our high school, now we have one alternative high school. Its grad rate is 34%. Well, listen to this. We compared it to all the other alternative high schools in the metro Atlanta area, and guess what alternative high school had the highest grad rate? Ours. Give it up for Perry and Calvin. So it's important that we celebrate our grad rate because that's what we're here to do. We want to graduate you, but not just graduate you. We want to ensure that you're college and career ready. And so with that in mind, today we're going to talk about a few things that we believe will help move our district further, ensuring that we create a very rigorous, high-performing educational environment for you. We want our school district to be a high-performing school system. Would you agree with that? And that's what we're working toward. And so today, our conversation is tailored around what you can do in your role, what we're doing in our role to ensure that we are a high-performing school system. And so, how many of you have taken the uniform survey? Somebody said, how many of you don't even know about the survey? Let's see. I have no clue. No clue. So I want to say the survey was sent to your emails. Y'all have emails? Somebody said yes, somebody said no. So if you have a school system email, I want to say it was sent to your email. If not, let me tell you what you can do. Because I believe it's closed down here. It closed yesterday at 5. Sorry. But the next time, if there is a next time, for any survey, we always post them on the website if it's a public survey. And so if you don't get it in an email, always go to the website. But for those of you who did complete the survey, you should know that we are considering for high school students, maybe taking to the board a recommendation that will basically relax the uniform. We don't know when we'll do that. January, maybe February, but we got to take it to the board. They'll have to approve. But we needed the survey results because we want to be able to say that we gave the community an opportunity to weigh in. And so we asked very simple questions about how people feel or what they perceive the benefit of the uniform policy as it currently is. And I'll be very honest with you. Some people say that uniforms help improve discipline. I don't think that is the case. When I look at the discipline, they're cutting up. They're cutting up with uniforms on. So I'm not really convinced that that's the case. Somebody said, oh, uniforms help kids perform better academically. I'm not too convinced that that's the case either. Because if you're going to do well, you're going to do well whether you got a uniform on or what. Or not. And so and someone will say, well, the uniform, make sure they come to school on time. I don't know, and I'm a critical thinker. But that just doesn't sit well with me because normally, if you come to school, you got to have the clothes on, whether it's a uniform or what. Or not. So I'm not really convinced. I like uniforms, maybe at the elementary and middle school level. But I think at the high school level, we can give a little bit more latitude, possibly. But they got to give something up. In order to get something, you got to give something, right? So I'm not interested in just saying, oh, we want to get rid of the uniforms, but then discipline goes bad. I'm not interested in saying, oh, we want to give high school students a chance to wear whatever they like, but there are no standards. Because you can't wear everything in school. This is not a beach. Y'all hear me? And there are norms, right? And we do have to prepare our students to enter into the workforce, don't we? And could you imagine me coming to work with something other than what's appropriate? Y'all would be talking about the superintendent all on social media, wouldn't you? What kind of superintendent is that? Coming to school with a bathing suit on. And so there are norms, and we got to teach you that there are certain ways that you should dress in certain what? Certain settings. And so that is important. And we also want young people to understand that school is not about what you're wearing. School is about getting an education. Because the truth of the matter is this. If you don't get an education, you won't be able to go forward what you really want to work. Does that make sense? And so we all need to understand that. Somebody said, well, what I want to wear is not that expensive. Okay, that's fine. But you're still growing. And your parents at some point are going to take you off their payroll. And they will expect you when you go to the mall to buy your own one. And so in order to do that, you need to have some income, don't you? In order to have some income in America, you need to have some education so people will what? Hire you. Because they hire people who are good what? Thinkers. And so we're going to talk through it, but just wanted you to know that. So we'll have a conversation with our high school students momentarily. But at this time, what I'd like to do, we got a few topics on the agenda. I want us to speed through those topics very quickly, giving you a chance to hear from us so we can hear from you. So Jada, you ready to go on? Okay.
And next, before we continue in our program, I just want to alter just a moment and have our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Simpson, come and provide a brief greeting to you. And then we'll hear from our Chief of Technology, Mr. Rod Smith. Thank you.
What's happening? What's happening? Y'all, okay, good morning. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was being informal. Okay, listen, I need y'all to do a thing real quick. Get your seats, students. Raise your hands or arms as high as you can. As high as you can raise it. Okay, raise it a little bit higher. Okay, thank you. Put your hands down. Say why I do that. Dr. Beasley said something. Just share some information with you. That's very, very important. It's important for you to understand that you raising your expectations, because I asked you initially to raise your arms as high as you could, and then I asked you to raise them higher. What I want you to understand and believe that you can raise your level of expectations to even higher heights. Despite what you just done, despite what you just proven it to us. You can raise your arms, your expectations, your academics to higher heights. We know that you can do that. All of the results that Dr. Beasley just spoke about is a result of you increasing and raising your level of expectation. Graduation for some of you might be far off into the future, but it's going to happen faster and sooner than you could ever imagine. But where you are right now, it's important that you continue to raise your level of expectations. Every single day. Every night. Every morning. Every day. Every night. Every single day. And then I want to say this real quick. We're going to have this conversation with high school students a little bit later about the uniforms and dress. The way you dress is the way you'll be undressed. Let me say that again. The way you dress is the way you'll be undressed. Saw a young man out in the lobby earlier, had on a blazer, a coat like mine, had on a shirt, had on a tie. I had to make my way over to him and shake his hand. Not that I didn't, I ignored anyone else's, but he stood out, he was impressive. Listen, you are in competition with those that are sitting to your left and your right, in the front and the back of you every single day. That's your competition. At some point in time in your life, you're going to be competing with those individuals for a job or a career, for a spot in someone's college or university. You're going to be competing with them. So if all you have to do is look better than them just to get to the table, then you can control that piece. If all you can do is just change the way you dress just to get that much of an edge, just by looking better. People treat you differently based upon the way you dress. People greet you differently by the way you dress. And then you might get a better deal. Listen, I don't have no money. If I go into a car dealership today dressed like this, they're going to think I have some money. I don't know. But they're going to walk up to me, and they're going to say, you know what, that dude right there, Lord, he has some money. But I don't. But at least I captured their attention. They at least came to me. I got an edge over someone else that may have more money than me, but they came in with JCC. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to get an advantage. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Y'all really under y'all disagree with me disagree. Does that make sense? Raise your arms again. Raise a little bit higher. That's what we want you to do. Thank you.
Mr. Rob Smith, our Chief of Technology.
Good morning, leaders, future leaders, I should say. Whoa. So Dr. Beasley wanted me to talk about technology. So I'm the Chief Technology Officer for the district. And if I could tell you a little story about how important leadership is. Do you believe your teachers are good leaders? And I will tell you this, we have the very best leadership team in the metro area right now, and that deserves a round of applause. I've never seen it. I've worked in 3 different school districts, and I've worked for 4 different superintendents, and this is the best leadership team I've ever been a part of. But before I talk about technology a little bit, I wanted to share this story with you. I wanted to talk about how important leadership is for you. Your teachers are important. I was a student in the 4th grade and didn't do well. It wasn't because I didn't have good parents. I grew up in a 2-parent home. But I had one teacher, I'm going to talk about leadership, one teacher, because I struggled with reading and math, who whispered to me one day while I was struggling with a problem. She whispered to me, Ron Smith, you're done, and you'll never amount to anything. You don't want teachers like that. You probably don't have teachers like that. And I shared that story with Dr. Beasley one day, and he said, in this district, we would have gotten rid of that teacher right away. But this is my point. She said that to me, and it had an impact. But in the 6th grade, I met another teacher named Miss Little. And Miss Little was dynamic. And when I struggled with reading and math with her, she would always say, Rod Smith, you can do anything you want to do. Anything you want to do. And she helped me. And that's why leadership matters, because those teachers in the classrooms are leaders. And I called Miss Little about a year ago. I think it was Teacher Celebration Day or something. She's retired now. I think she's in her 70s. And I shared that story with her about my 4th grade teacher that she didn't know about. And she said, I don't remember treating you any different than I treated all my students. She was just a good leader and a good teacher. So I want you guys to think about what I'm getting ready to tell you about technology and your responsibility and your teachers' responsibilities to you as students. I will tell you this, that we have the best technology in the metro. Hands down, bar none. Cobb County has nothing on us. Gwinnett County has nothing on us. They may have a little more money than we do, but we intentionally place the technology in those classrooms that we believe will increase engagement and collaboration. Most of you are using G Suite right now, right? Okay, and Dr. Beasley asked the question, do you have email? All of you should have email. If you don't, or if you tell me you don't, let me know at the end of this and I'll find out why. But every student in our district should have an email account. Every student. Okay? 2 real quick updates. Talking about collaboration, engagement. We're doing a digital classroom refresh. So remember the old projectors you guys had in your classroom? Some of those are going away. Some of you have the big flat panels, interactive flat panels. Raise your hand if you have those in your schools already. Good. We should be finished with that project sometime, maybe February, I think. We had a little bit of delay from stuff actually coming from China because of the tariffs that they were putting on. Yeah, exactly.
Vote on November 6th. That's all I'll say.
Vote on November, what day, Dr.
6th.
November 6th. Can't tell you how to vote, but vote right. That's the layout project. But we should be finished with that project. Every classroom is going to have one of those interactive flat panels from a company called Box Light Vimeo. They'll also have access to student response systems. In addition to that, they'll have a view, which is kind of like a ladybug or a camera that you can use as part of your instructional practice. The thing that I'm really excited about is that one of the things that the students talked about last year when they had this meeting with Dr. Beasley was the question came up, Dr. Beasley, when are we going to get laptop computers like the other school districts around the metro, like Henry County? And he came back, somebody remember that conversation last year? Remember that conversation? Well, he came back to my team and he said, Rod, I need y'all to figure this out. So this year we're doing a pilot at 4 schools, North Clayton High School, Babb Middle School, Harper Elementary, and Brown Elementary, where every 3rd grader at the elementary level and every 6th grader at Babb and every 9th grader at the middle school is getting a Chromebook as a part of their instructional practice. Most school districts call this a 1-to-1, which means 1 computer for every student. We're not calling it a 1-to-1 because I don't believe that technology is some silver bullet that's going to solve all the instructional problems in the world. It's just not. It takes good teachers like Miss Little, because I didn't have any computers back then. It just takes really good teachers. But we do believe that this engagement will increase your opportunities far beyond school. Every job that you will probably apply for, if you go on to go to college or the military, somewhere in your life you're going to encounter a computer that you're going to have to know how to navigate, period. Okay? So the goal is, in the next 3 years, and I'm sorry for some of the seniors because, maybe they won't get to participate, but just know you came from a good district that thinks critically and strategically about how to solve problems. And this was a problem that you guys brought to us, and now we solved it. So in the next 3 years, by year 4, I believe, every 3rd grade through 12th grade student in Clayton County will have a Chromebook as their personal device for instruction. Thank you very much.
So much, Mr. Smith. And now you will hear from our Chief of Safety and Security, Chief Thomas Traeger.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. As she stated, I'm Thomas Traeger, the Chief of Safety and Security. And first of all, I want to just stop and thank you all for helping me just a few minutes ago. If you recall, I asked you all to shift for me a little bit, and you guys didn't hesitate to do that. So give yourselves a round of applause for helping. Now, in a moment, you're going to say, this guy's always asking me to help. Well, I need your help with something else. Safety is everybody's responsibility. And when I said, hey, I need some help with something else, I had some students laughing up front, saying, really? Something else? You need me to do one more thing? Well, I do. I need for you all to be an ambassador for me. Because, notice what I said. Safety is everyone's responsibility. And by a show of hands, how many people want to go to school and feel safe? That's everyone in this auditorium this morning. So we all want to feel safe. So if we want to feel safe, we want to create a culture and an environment of safety, right? So what I'm going to need for you all to do is to go back, be ambassadors, and preach the message. But first, you guys have been sitting down for a while. Would you guys like to see a music video? I mean a real nice music video, one that makes you kind of rock in your chair. Y'all want to see it? I would dance, I just don't know how. But y'all want to see it? All right, stay tuned. To end bullying, we have to stand up. So who wants to stand up with me to end bullying?
Thank you for coming out to our school. Have a blessed
What question is that?
Where do we start to stand against bullying?
Well, where do we start?
Here in Clayton County.
All right.
Kids, show them how we do it here at the mill.
Let's go.
Bullies gotta go, cause it's thing gotta show. In a county, up and go. I'm speaking up through buzzing out all this flow. I got a specialist, all y'all. Bullies know. And I love my other play. gotta go, cause it's Clayton got the show. And what time the blood go?
Who raps on a track like this? Who paws at the folk and twist? Who shoots ball out the ball from the 3-point line and still don't miss? Or how to back finger roll or kiss? Don't score, you can get the assist. Now listen close to the message that you just can't miss. You can be round my skin, oh yes, and I go straight up to the crowd. Be fast to put me around, but the stupid little family is not allowed. You might find yourself in the oh, the platinum cuffs in the backseat, take a ride with a po-po, sitting on the bully and I gotta go. Dr. B, tell me what they really need to know.
I'm here to take you to another level. And you did gonna tear up show. All teachers are level because the system's on the right, you can't follow. Early stage, like whatever it takes. Each one teach one is moving shape. I need your help to get the scores up. And while you're at it, tell bullet man.
Yo, bullets go, bullets gotta go, cause it's Clayton got the show. And I'm counting the blood go. Bullets go, bullets gotta go, cause it's Clayton got the show. And what time the blood go?
So what do you think of the video? You guys didn't know the superintendent was a rapper, did you? But those are some of the things that we're doing in the district. We're trying to address issues that are impacting our students. So we want to reach out to you and get you guys to help us. And give a round of applause to Moncasville Middle School. What they helped us out with. Now when you came in, we passed out a pamphlet. And that pamphlet, please pull it out for me. That pamphlet addresses if you see something, we want you to say something. Because it's absolutely important for us to engage each other to keep our schools safe, regardless of what it may be. And the beauty about the app that we have is you don't have to leave your name. You can do it anonymously. And you can get that message to your SRO. As a matter of fact, it comes to me as well. So if you're having an issue like bullying, or if you have a personal issue, or if you hear of a student who might want to harm themselves, go ahead, give us the information so that we can go in and address the situation. So if we see something, we're going to do what? Say something. If we see something, we're going to do what? Say something. Very good. And a few other things that we're doing is we're looking at dating violence, especially those in the middle and high schools, because what I've heard is that is becoming a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to be addressing some of you all to get some assistance with that, as well as suicide prevention, because we're going to do some PSAs as it relates to that. Last but not least, Dr. Beasley mentioned surveys. Well, this Friday, we're going to do a safety and security survey, because I'm interested in or on how you all interact with your school resource officers. Because this is what I want. You know, it hasn't been a good few years for police officers. You've seen a lot of negativity on the news and in social media on police officers not behaving properly. Well, that's not what we're here for. I want you all to know we're here to be a resource for you. We're here for you to run to us if you have a problem. I can't have you running away from us. Does that make sense? So I want to send that survey out, and it's going out to everyone. It's going out to parents, to students, to anyone in the community who wants to respond, because I want to make sure we have positive programming, that the officers are reaching out to you, and that you have confidence and faith in your police officers in the schools. So does that make sense? So thank you all for coming. I appreciate it, and you all have a great day.
Thank you so much, Chief Treyway. And now we will hear from our Deputy Superintendent of Student Services, Dr. Sandra Nunez, and then we will dismiss our high school students to the recital room, but we'll come back and make that announcement as we continue with our agenda. Dr. Nunez.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I love that energy. When Ms. Dawkins said this morning how excited we are to be here today, and I'm sitting there seeing all the hands raising and that you are participating in this meeting, it is very special. It is very special for us to be in front of you because everything we do every single day Everything we do every single day is about you, and it's for you. I am here to talk to you about the supports that we provide for you. This year we are implementing what we call the Circle of Support. And the Circle of Support are a number of adults in the school building that are there to care and support you. And I'm not going to go deep into that because I want to talk to you specifically about something that we're doing as it relates to that Circle of Support. And it is how we care and what we do in relation to your wellness. Okay, your health and your wellness. To learn, you need to be mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy. I know those of you who are here today are mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy. Raise your hands, those of you that feel that way. Mentally, physically, look at those hands. That is wonderful. But as we talked about bullying, and we talked about everything that goes on out there, we know that not all of us are always mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy. And we are going to have a walk, okay, a 5K walk that is about you. And we want you to participate and to promote the participation of other classmates and other peers. Since you came to a very serious meeting today, right? This is a serious meeting. You got invited to a serious meeting by the superintendent. You have a paper and a pencil, and if you don't, I know that you will remember a date that I'm going to give you. Saturday, November 3rd. Saturday, November 3rd is going to be the date. Where? At Southern Crescent Stadium. That is Charles Drew Stadium, Charles Drew's High School Stadium. And it's going to be at 1 o'clock. And what are we doing there? We are bringing all of you and the community together to show you that we care, that you are important, that we need to make connections to ensure that all of you, 55,000 of you, are physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy. And that's going to be the walk that we are going to connect. The second objective is to connect with community and provide information about a very serious matter around our youth. That is those that are not so physically, mentally, and emotionally well. And they are important and they need our help. And we are going to come together to show everybody that we care. That is part of our wellness, health and wellness model and our circle of support. And I hope to see you all there on November 3rd. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to hold just a minute before we release all high school students, and we'll allow now our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Ebony Lee, to present. Thank you.
Good morning, scholars. How are you doing? You seem like you came prepared for today's meeting of the minds. I see your notes and pens, and great job. So I want to talk to you all about readiness. Dr. Beasley spoke earlier about graduation being that symbol of accomplishment and readiness to go out into the world and really secure employment so you can have a good quality of life. I also want to talk about engagement. So in order to have the readiness, our students must be, you all, our scholars, must be engaged in the environment. And that also means we have to engage engage you, right? And by us engaging you, that allows you to truly get the knowledge and skills you need to progress to each level. I gave you 2 handouts that I want to talk about. And a big part of engagement is you saying to yourself, I have the right to learn today. If I am in a situation where I am not learning, I need to step up, ask the questions needed so that I get the learning that I need. It is unacceptable for you to be in a classroom where you're not learning, because those skills are going to be needed in the next class, in the next grade, at the next school, and ultimately in life. And so the reason I'm giving you some critical questions that you can ask is so that you have access to all learning. So let me ask you this, if you would, turn to the page that has at the top, Student Question and Discussion Stems by Quadrant. Student Questions and Discussion Stems by Quadrant. If you do not have one, look on with someone, and I'll be sure that everyone gets a copy. I thought we distributed it to everyone. So what you're looking at on the page that says Student Question and Discussion Stems by Quadrant are a series of questions that progress in complexity. What does complex mean?
It's hard.
Okay, it's hard, it can be challenging, it could require more thought, right? Thank you for responding. So if we're only receiving the easy questions in class, and then we're only asking the easy questions, are we able to handle complex tasks or learning later in life? No, you're not. So let's go back to the conversation about uniforms. There was a claim made earlier that uniforms possibly do not contribute to better behavior, better attendance, right? That was a claim. What is a claim?
Something that someone states.
Something that someone states that tells you what? Their position. So let's look at these questions. So I'm going to explain the layout. I borrowed yours. Thank you for allowing me to borrow it. In the bottom left quadrant where it says acquisition, those are considered the easy questions. Those are the basic questions. If we only ask those questions, we're not doing a lot of learning. They are important because they're the foundation, but we can't only ask those questions. As you move to the right of application, that's when you begin to have to apply the learning. So you'll notice the questions require a little bit more knowledge. So you're getting ready to ask me some questions, so stay with me. As I move from application, I move up to the top left. What is that word? Assimilation. Assimilation. Okay? Assimilation is when you begin to make connections among concepts. Cross from one subject to the next. Okay? And then D is ultimately where we want to be. And what is D? Adaptation. Excellent, you all. And that's when you are adapting the learning into a real world situation. So what Chief Cox showed you, students taking command and creating a bullying-free zone video, is that real life? What skills did those students have to produce that video? Just yell it out. Communication skills, I hear, because they had to be able to articulate and convey what they wanted to say. What else? They had to have the talent and the skills. Did they have to collaborate? Did they have to be creative? Did they have to critically think? Did they probably only stay in quad A with acquisition? No. So if I say to you, uniforms are not effective. That's my claim. What might be a question you ask me if I'm the teacher and you're in class, and I say, okay guys, Everyone's going to write about why uniforms are not effective. What might be a question you pose? Now she's going to make me walk in these heels. A scholar, yeah. Young gentleman.
C in the assimilation. Question 6, what are some of the reasons that?
So, and notice there's still, so you would complete, what are some of the reasons that you're taking that position? And as a result of that question, I now have to give the substantiating evidence, right? And then you may ask in quad D, you may pose the question, how do you propose other solutions? So the point that I'm making, scholars, is that you have to be engaged in the learning. When you do not understand something, you have to ask the questions to seek clarity. So there are questions on here that say, can you provide an example? Can you elaborate? How does that compare to another concept we're learning? And it's not rude, you're being responsible, but you're taking ownership of your learning in the classroom. But also, if you notice the questions you're receiving are only an acquisition, that's going to be a signal that we need to elevate or increase the learning that's occurring in that classroom, right? So this is sort of your monitoring tool, students. So you're here at this meeting to get your monitoring tool to make sure that you are getting the best, the very best education. And we have the right tools, we have the right resources. How many of you are using iReady? All right, excellent. So, how many of you know why you're using iReady? So we didn't ask what? We didn't ask why. And that's why you have the questions. You should always know why you're doing something. What is the reason? What is the ultimate goal? Because otherwise, how do you know you're on track for meeting the outcome? How many of you just took a benchmark, the benchmark assessment? Do you know why? Raise your hand if you know how you performed. You should know how you performed. Soon. I'm pretty sure it's coming. But just as the last piece, Ms. Dawkins, as we close, I have provided a tool in here for you in your 11 by 17 paper that allows you to track your performance, whether it's the iReady, whether it's the Chief 3000, whatever tool you're using, whether it's the benchmark, you need to find out why you're taking and engaging in those assessments. But as you're, and this is a page that looks like this, charting my journey for success. You get to chart out your performance because you want to know that you're headed in the right direction, that your performance is increasing. And also there are places on here where you can say your goals and how you want to improve. And then the last template on here speaks to you going back and looking at your missed items on the benchmarks. Why did you miss it? Because if you missed it, that means you didn't get the what? The question and the learning. So remember, it's all about you getting the learning. So in closing, I want to say to you, be engaged. You have the right to learn every day in class. And when something is confusing and only in the acquisition box, you have the right to ask a question to move the learning forward. And we're having the same conversation with our leaders and teachers because we're all working hard, but we probably missed a vital piece, and that's you. We need you engaged. You're the future leaders. And so from here on out, when people pose to you the question, what do you want to do when you graduate? Your response should be, I want to solve a problem. So right now, just in your life, start thinking about what problem do you want to solve? And you have to have the knowledge and skills to do that. So thank you, scholars, for your attention and for asking good questions moving forward, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Now we're going to dismiss all high school students. If you can leave your items here, or you can take your personal items with you, it's optional. But I have Miss Nikki Frazier waving your hand in the rear of the room. If you would exit the building towards the rear, follow Miss Frazier, we're going to dismiss you to the recital hall, okay? We're going to ask our superintendent, Dr. Beasley, to join them. And we're going to continue with our agenda as we welcome Ms. Audrey Hamilton, our Director of Nutrition Services, as she comes to prepare.
Good morning, students, faculty, Dr. Beasley, administrators, and colleagues. As Jada mentioned, my name is Audrey Hamilton. I'm the Nutrition Services Director. And I want to start out by actually thanking our vendors who sponsored your snacks today. We had Royal Produce sponsor the fruit, the apples. We had a company called Integrity Foods. They sponsored items. General Mills, and also a company called Key Impact. So all the items that you received today were donated. I also want to thank my staff for getting up early today, baking the cookies and bagging up everything and then serving them to you today. So I want to thank our staff. I have one of our staff members here, Ms. Ingrid Fairdale. She's responsible for leading that team. So please give her a hand. Let me tell you about what you see. I have a PowerPoint. We came up with this wonderful theme this year that I absolutely love because it really speaks to where our world is today. It is called Trending #School Nutrition. And so with that theme, we just cover everything. So everything with us is trending. So you're going to see a lot of hashtags today. Starting with trending. Keeping with Dr. Beasley's theme this year, trending a culture of high performance in school nutrition. Earlier this year, Dr. Beasley came and spoke to our nutrition staff. We have a big meeting right here in this auditorium, and it was about 700 people in the audience. And one of the things that he came up with that I really liked, that I brought from that meeting, was he said, we're trending, we're moving, trending, #moving in the right direction. I like that because he was really talking to our staff about where the district is headed, where we're going. And it just really spoke volumes to all of us who was in attendance that day. What's new for you in 2018-19. Here's some of the things that school nutrition is doing in order to make your dining experience more pleasurable. Get it right. One of the things that we're doing across the state, the Department of Education is doing this campaign called Shaking It Up. And so with that, we have a lot of promotions, a lot of contests, and a lot of prizes that we're bringing to our schools. So in our schools this year, some of our students are going to have an opportunity to win iTunes gift cards. We have Target gift cards. We also have movie tickets that we're going to be giving away across the district because we're trying to increase student breakfast participation. So what we're going to do is those schools that really have high participation in breakfast, we're going to be giving away all of these cards. We also have wireless earphones for cell phones we're going to be giving away at schools. Fitbits we're going to be giving away at schools. This is the fitness wristband. And also, one lucky student is going to win an HP laptop just for eating breakfast every day. We're going to be tracking this through our software program, and we're going to be giving these prizes away. We're really excited about that. Also this year, we have increased our farm-to-school participation. A few years ago, Commissioner Gary Black, who is the Commissioner of Agriculture, he came up with this program called 2020. He wanted every school district in Georgia by the year 1920 to have serve at least 20% of Georgia-grown products in our schools. Well, I want you to know that Clayton County has exceeded the 20% already. Right now, we're around 25% Georgia-grown products. So give us a hand for that. And this is a picture of some of the Georgia-grown promotions that we've done. We did one. How many of you remember the peaches we served not long ago? Participated in the peaches. We did the peaches. We had kale coming up for harvest of the month. We also have collard greens. That's a winter vegetable. Collard greens is coming up, and also cabbage. Some of the things that are coming up that are Georgia-grown. And Georgia-grown means basically not just fruits and vegetables grown right here in the state of Georgia, but also states that border Georgia. So that is also considered Georgia-grown and locally grown. Also, we are increasing our grab-and-go carts this year. Right now we have 7 schools that are participating in grab-and-go. Raise your hand if you have a grab-and-go cart at your school. Awesome. Well, guess what? We just received funding for an additional 20 schools, which is going to bring our total grab-and-go schools to 27 schools. My goal is to have grab-and-go in every school in Clayton County. So we're increasing our grab-and-go carts. That's a picture of the students at BAB that are partaking in the grab-and-go cart. What I like about the grab-and-go cart is it allows students to come and grab their breakfast meal and go straight to their classroom to start their instructional day, or they can take that meal and go to the gym or go to other parts of the school in order to enjoy their breakfast. So we're moving away from the traditional breakfast of eating in the cafeteria. We're making breakfast available throughout the school. Here are the schools that are going to be a part of the new Grab and Go campaign. This is a list of schools. I'll show that for you momentarily. But these are schools coming up, and we're looking to add more schools as we go. Also, what's coming up is on October 15th through 19th is our National School Lunch Week. The theme this year is School Lunch, Lots to Love. And we have some new exciting items that we're going to be featuring during National School Lunch Week. Never served before in Clayton. We're going to be offering on the lighter fare a bacon turkey burger along with a baked seasoned fry. That's on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to offer a new grilled panini. Features of healthy heart spinach that's going to be on the panini. On Wednesday, we're going to offer an item called Sweetie Fries. Sweetie Fries are a signature baked fry topped with cinnamon, maple, and marshmallows. This is served it's healthy, but it's also going to satisfy any sweet tooth that's out there. On Thursday, we're going to introduce a new vegetarian burger. I tell you, I've had an opportunity to taste it. It tastes just like beef. So we're looking at making sure that we have foods available for our vegetarians as well. And then at our elementary schools, we're going to offer chili with heart-shaped pretzels. And at our high schools, we're going to offer a turkey ranch wrap with heart-shaped pretzels. And then on that Friday, we're going to have a secret surprise dessert that you guys have never had before. So look forward to National School Lunch Week, October 15th through 19th. Of course, you know we have our holiday meals coming up in November and December. And then in February 2019, how many of you remember the Super Bowl party that we threw last year? We're going to bring Super Bowl. That was a hit. Remember we served the chicken wings? And everybody loved those. We couldn't keep enough of them. So we're going to serve those at Super Bowl party in 2019. March Madness is coming up. That's another promotion that we're going to have. And you the chef of the seasonings, because we don't put a lot of sodium in our food. So what we come up with is a seasoning blend for you to take those seasonings and mix your food into any flavor profile that you like. To spice it up the way that you want. You can do hot, you can do mild, you can do various things with the seasoning blends that we have. So we're going to continue you the chef. And then, how many of you have seen the infused water at your schools. We're rolling out infused water, infused with lemons and strawberries and cucumbers and limes and various things. We want to make sure that we work to hydrate you. So we have a company that is donating Health Empowers. Health Empowers. Let me pull that video up. There we go. Health Empowers. They're donating these water dispensing units so that we can offer infused water in our schools. And so that is coming up. And I'm getting close to the end, but I want to talk about this. This is very serious. We have initiated a food waste campaign because I know that a lot of times when students get food, they either don't have enough time to eat it, or they get it and then they change their minds. So what we have done is we have partnered with a company called Helping Hands Feeding Hunger, and this is an organization that started in 2015, about a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and they really are pushing the food that we throw away in our school cafeterias, the items that are prepackaged that have not been touched by students. They're really pushing repurposing this food and giving it to people that are hungry. And the thing that I like about it is anybody, custodians, teachers, people off the street, mothers, fathers, children can take this food home and eat it at night, because we do know that we have some families who really can't afford food. We call them hunger deserts. We know that we have some hunger deserts in Clayton County, but I wanted to show you a video of one that's actually operating here in Clayton County at Babb Middle School. We're looking for sponsors because there's a fee to join Helping Hands Feeding Hunger. It's an organization that's separate from the cafeteria, separate from food services. They are the ones who get with vendors to donate food for families, and then they collect the food that students throw away every day, and they put it in the refrigerator after school, and at night, when a child needs something to carry home, or a parent calls and says, I need you to bring something home, I want you to see this video. This is what actually happens at Babb Middle School with Helping Hands Feeding Hunger.
Program is working. I had a parent call me. I had a child with me evening, and she had a call come to me saying, Mom said you don't have any more canned food. So I knew they had kids, so I had them 2 days, and Mom said she would change next week. So we're getting calls all the time from new families that need to be added to our list. And this is going on with kids today. And these are some lunches that the kids can want, so we're able to save them. Slices of fruit. This is our milk. And we just divide it between total number of kids. The word is getting around here at the school, so we're getting calls from the counselors and everyone of families that need support. And since this is a Title I school, we do have families that need assistance. And they're looking forward to it. Our kids are bringing their bags in every morning.
So that's one of the things that we're doing in order to address the hunger issue. We want to get this Helping Hands Feeding Hunger in more schools. We need sponsorship. There's an application fee that goes along with sponsoring, but it also, they have their own liability, and it's been approved by the Department of Health and also approved approved by the Department of Education. So this is something that you're going to see more of a push from, as we're trying to make sure that we try to help eliminate and or reduce food waste. Again, hashtag feeding hungry children, that is our goal, that's why we're here. We know that a hungry child cannot learn. We know that when you come in from home in the morning times, if you have not had dinner the night before, or haven't had something to really hold you over, breakfast is the way to start your day. We're really pushing breakfast, that's why we have these breakfast carts available now. We're customer service driven. We want to make sure that our customers are satisfied. So what we do is we make sure that students help drive our menu choices, our menu selections. We do have a menu committee for students to help select what goes on the menu. We're excited about that, and that operates out of the Perry Center. And of course, we cannot do this without your support. We want you to go back and share this information with all the students who you hear sometimes complain about school lunch. We know that food is certainly a personal choice, and everything that on our menu, we really can't not appease everybody, but we try to make sure that we have items on there to cover every palate. Thank you very much. I am finished.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. Next, we'll have a presentation from our Operations Division. And this is Mr. Kenneth Thompson, who is Executive Director of that area for the school district. Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Is it still morning? Yeah, good morning. My name is Kenneth Thompson. I'm over operations, and you might not know what that means, but what that means is I work with an incredible team of over 1,200 support staff members. You just heard from Mrs. Hamilton, which is over our school nutrition area, but we also have 3 other areas that are under the operations umbrella that supports the school and the teaching and learning that goes on in our county. Our maintenance and warehouse operations, our athletic programming operations, they support stadium operations, uniforms, compliance with the Georgia High School Association, as well as our transportation area, which manages about 400 drivers, 367 routes, and they deliver 28,000 students to the schools each day, morning and afternoon. So what I'd like to do is just basically talk about what the 1,200 support staff do. And you know, we're kind of a quiet part of the district, but we play a very integral part in the day-to-day operations of the school district, from transporting you as students to school, keeping up with our facilities, making sure they're safe and sound, making sure that our student athletes get all of the support that they need, providing nutrition and meals on a daily basis. We're probably the only district in Georgia that provides 100% free meals. So that's incredible. Mrs. Hamilton and her team have done an amazing job in making sure that we have that designation and that we have 100% free meals at our schools. You know, someday nationally, that's something that will be provided nationwide. But right now, we will be 100% CEP, which means we'll be eligible for providing all of our students, no matter what their economic status is, with free meals. And that will go on for probably the next 3 years. One thing that Mrs. Hamilton didn't talk about is she has a state-of-the-art test kitchen over at the Perry Center. And she's got some great ideas in utilizing those facilities over the next several years, and hopefully getting students more engaged and making sure they develop menu items for us. What I'd like to do is kind of introduce our team, because you know, when you talk about operations, you talk about the buses, you talk about the white facility are the white trucks that you see out in the schools on a daily basis. You see us at the stadiums. We also support construction, the construction of new facilities, the renovation of new facilities. We support Mr. Ronald Joseph. Those of you that are with East Clayton Elementary, thank him for the new building. But also, we work collaboratively with construction on the maintenance side to make sure that from a sustainability standpoint, that the new facilities that we do put online will sustain, are cost effective as far as how we maintain them. Our maintenance department handles 25,000 work orders a year. And what that means is if there's an air conditioning issue in a room, or if there's an issue with pest control, an issue with the building, those come into our system as work orders. So we have over 200 support staff in our maintenance area that addresses and completes over 25,000 work orders. So they're doing an amazing job. And the one thing that I find about the staff that work in operations is a lot of them grew up in Clayton County, and a lot of them grew up in the school district. So they have a passion to make sure that you're learning in safe and sound facilities, that our students are being transported safely, and that we're feeding you the most nutritious meals in the state of Georgia. So what I'd like to do is introduce Mr. Sam Colbert, which is over our maintenance area, but I'd like for most of our operations staff over there to stand up. These are the folks that support you every day, from our AV supervisor, our buildings, our coordinating supervisor, Mr. May, which is over athletics, and Mr. Joseph, which is over the construction department.
But I want you guys to, before we remain standing, because this is important. These four guys right here, they're products of Clayton County. Stand around. These guys here, from kindergarten through 12th grade. We got Forest Park High, we got Jonesboro High, and we got Riverdale High. But they're the guys that support, that part of our team, my teammates, that we come out and we make sure that you guys are doing okay. As Mr. Thompson said, our guys are in the woods all day. You see them on the lawn boards. Todd, please stand. You see that blue shirt? Most of our guys wear those blue shirts all day, so when you see these guys in the schools, we're on your side. We're on your side. We got you. So, thank you, Todd. With that being said, I don't have all day to tell you everything that maintenance does. So, because we'll be here all day. I can take one department and be here all day. So, but I do say, we're here for you. You can call on us. You can ask any of your principals, your teachers. You can stop any of our staff when you see them in the hall. If you have a question, ask them. They're on your side. Some of the stuff. So there was 2 initiatives that we had this year that was important that we took on. We're trying to turn over our grounds, get better at how we maintain our grounds. So we bought some additional equipment. We do not have 200 personnel in maintenance. We have about 125 personnel in maintenance. Now, unless Mr. Thompson is going to give me the 75 positions, then you'll see an even more remarkable job that we can do. And we also, in conjunction with our construction department, Mr. Joseph, who renovated, 6, 8 schools this summer, trying to improve the air conditioning, operation of air conditioning. Some of that air conditioning has been around for a while. So that was, you can save that hand clap and give it to Dr. Beasley, because as we took it to him, he was very receptive on that. So when you see Dr. Beasley, thank him for that. As well as the board members, because they had to approve that. So I won't take up any more time. Do anybody have any questions as it relates to maintenance? Thank you.
Ms. Hamilton, Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Coker, and their remarkable members of their team. We do have others here today, and I know they were not mentioned on the agenda to present, but I'm going to call them out and allow them an opportunity to come and introduce themselves and tell you just about 2 minutes or less about the area of service that they supervise and how instrumental they are to the operations and the committed to high performance thing that we have for the school district. And I'm actually going to start with Mr. Ronick Joseph. We talked about East Clayton High School, middle school, graduated in advance, and some other projects that we have underway with our school.
Well, good morning. My name is Ronick Joseph. I'm the Director of Construction. As Mr. Coker stated, I am a product of Clayton County Public Schools. I started off at Beasley and Elementary, went to Mondays Middle, and graduated at Jonesboro High School in 1999. As they said earlier, I'm responsible for new construction and renovation of old schools. We had a busy year last year. We opened up the new East Clayton Elementary School. We had HVAC replacements at 6 locations, as well as renovations to some existing facilities. What to expect this year, renovations to Jonesboro High School, renovations to Riverdale High School, Adamson Middle, North Clayton Middle, Suter Elementary, Kilpatrick Elementary, Brown Elementary, and Mount Sinai Elementary. As far as upcoming work, we are developing a program for SPA 6, and the program includes a new high school, Morrow High School, a new middle school in Forest Park, as well as a new elementary school in Lovejoy. The program also includes a college and career academy. I'm glad to answer any questions at the end of the presentation, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. The next team member I'm going to call out is Mr. Kevin May. How many of you play sports? Raise your hand. Well, wonderful. You have an opportunity to meet our Director of Athletics, Mr. Kevin May. He's going to talk about his role in the school district.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I guess it's almost lunchtime. My name is Kevin May. I'm Director of Athletics. My office is at Terra Stadium. How many of you have ever been to Terra Stadium? Okay. How many middle school athletes do we have in here? All right. How many elementary students that want to participate in athletics? Okay. How many of you elementary students know that you must pass 5 out of 6 classes to be eligible to participate in athletics? Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind as you move on from the elementary level to the middle school level, and middle school students are already aware of that because they have to complete that requirement. We provide the schools with uniforms, with equipment, referees. We operate all 3 stadiums: Southern Crescent Stadium on Drew High School campus, 12 Oak Stadium on the Lovejoy High School campus, and Terra Stadium, which is right next to Kilpatrick Elementary. And we also do what we can to promote our athletes. We hope some of them will move on to college opportunities through athletics. And we have many that are there. We have many that are in the pros right now. Watch the Monday Night Football game Monday night. You would have seen Cameron Sutton, who went to Jonesboro High School, playing defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Morgan Burnett, also on the same team, who went to North Clayton High School. So we provide an opportunity for our student athletes to make it to the next level and use athletics as a tool to continue their education. So we hope that you'll get there. If you have a phone, you have a Twitter account. How many of you have Twitter? Okay. At CCP Athletics 1, you will find every single information you ever want to know about any high school, middle school, anything going on in Clayton County. At CCP Athletics 1. Come follow us. Thank you.
So how many of you traveled by our school buses this morning? Let me see by raising your hands. And how many of you travel by bus each and every morning to school? Raise your hand. Wonderful. Well, we have an amazing team here today that was responsible for making sure that you arrived safe and sound, and that you continue to arrive on time, as he would like to say, every day to school. So I want to bring down to the floor Mr. Walker, Harold Walker, and members of his team to introduce themselves. Followed by Dr. Jamie Wilson, you're not going to get away from us, and Ms. Lisa Donzel.
those yellow buses. Y'all seen them before? Okay, I want to let y'all know some history of what we do every day. Every morning we pick up 28,600 plus students to take to school. We got 365 school buses that pick you all up. Okay, we drive about 9,000 miles in the morning to make sure that we get everybody to school in 2.5 hours. So now I need your help to make sure that really works. One, I want you at the school bus stop 5 minutes before the school bus gets there. Okay. 2, I don't want you running behind the school bus trying to get to the stop. 3, when you get ready to cross the street to get on the school bus, look both ways before you cross that street. Could y'all do those 3 things for me? I got one more thing. When you're on the school bus, you sit down and what? Behave. Okay? So everybody agree with me? Thank you. A minute, Mrs. Hall, she was my coordinator. She worked with me as well, baby, to ensure that you all get to school, to and from school safely, okay?
My name is Ms. Hall, and I'm your coordinator. Raise your hands for those of your drivers who do safety tips with you on the bus in the morning and the afternoon. Okay, so we need to work on that. Your driver should be going over some of the safety rules with you, as Mr. Walker discussed, making sure that you look both ways. We talked about bullying today in your presentation. Make sure that if you have any issues on your bus, you report them to your drivers so that we can give you some assistance with that as well. Okay? All right, you all have a good day.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Jamie Wilson from the Division of Human Resources, and I work with a team of individuals to assist in hiring all of the employees that work in Clayton County Schools. We have about 7,500 employees within the school system, and our team works to make certain that we're hiring the best that we can. Regardless of what the position may be, our role is to hire the best that we can, the best teacher that we can. Hopefully your teacher is doing a great job for you. If you feel that he or she is not, then talk with your principal and see what we can do to make that teacher the best that she can be. Some other things that we do that you may not really see is that we make certain that our employees, your teachers and custodians and school nutrition workers have insurance so they can stay healthy and take care of their families and come to work to support you in what you do. There are a number of other things that we do, but primarily in terms of students, what we do is try to find the best employee to work in our school system to support you. Okay, this time, Ms. Downsole.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Donsel, and I work in business services. In some districts, you might hear that called finance. What do you think we deal with? Money. Guess what? Everybody who talked to you before, everything that they talked about, guess what it costs? Money. So our job in our department is to make sure that we have the most money, that we go out and we get money from grants, we get it from the state, we work with your schools to help build the schedule so that we earn money, so that we can hire the best teachers and the best employees, and we can get you supplies and textbooks, that everything that you have to do, and transportation. We help them pay for the buses and pay for the gas to drive the buses to school. So we are working behind the scenes to make sure that you guys have what you need. And we know that not everybody has absolutely everything, but we're working to make sure that we get it for you. We work to get the best prices so that we can get a little bit more and get the best quality. Did you have a question? Yes, we work with the principals on their school budgets. We help them build their school budgets and distribute the money that we get from the state and from the taxes. All of your parents have to pay taxes and nobody's happy about it. But the tax money that they pay for their houses helps pay for everything that we talked about today. So our job is to support you and we're going to build the best budget that we can to make sure you guys get what you need. I hope you have a great rest of your year. Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson, and thank you to all others. Well, we are migrating our high school students back into our general population here. I'm sure that they've had a hearty conversation about uniforms and how to be an effective leader, an ambassador, and role model for others. At this time, we are actually going to allow you an opportunity to ask us questions. What can we do to make sure that we're providing the best service for you? But before we do that, because I see that some may need some stretching and standing and moving about. So everybody just stand in place and stretch, and we're almost done. I know, it's been a very insightful morning. She said she needed it. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, let's get a good stretch in. This is the time of the day that we will wrap up and have Q&A. Okay. So Dr. Beasley, we heard from all of our team members, and so now we'll allow you to address them and with any final remarks.
Okay, young people, well, hopefully you heard something good about child school nutrition. Hopefully the lunches will taste better. Are they? You guys still got work to do, huh? All right. Hopefully schools are clean. Not at all. Got work to do. Dr. Lee has shared with you questions that you should be hearing in your classrooms and questions you should be asking in your classrooms. So take that. We'll send it out to all of your students. I think Rod shared with all of you, some of you clearly didn't know this, that all of you have district-wide emails. So figure out how to get to it and use that email, because when we send out information to all students and surveys, we send them to your what? Email. So if you're not participating, that's probably because you're not checking your what? Check your emails. And so at this time, Jada, how do we want to do our Q&A? Then won't we just form a line over here and over there, and then we'll give you a chance. Right behind you. So let's look at, can you put it over there? There you go. That's good, right there. You can stay right there. That mic, you can do that mic too. So form a line over there as well. Come on that side. So identify your name, your school, and then ask your question, okay? All right, we'll start over here to my left. You're right.
My name is Morcease J.
So your little bottle so I can hear.
My name is Morcease J from Beasley Elementary School. And I want to go to Elite Scholars, and I wonder why doesn't they have a football team?
Okay. Elite Scholars, why don't they have a football team? One reason is because of size. The school is only designed for about 100 kids per grade level. And of course, in order to have a football team, you've got to have a large enough population to make sure you have the talent in order to compete in our state athletic association. And so that's one reason. But they do have some other sports there. So not a football team, but they do have some other activities there, okay?
Hi, my name is Jonesboro from Beasley Elementary School, and I want to ask, how can the community help get sponsors for our schools?
Excellent question. How can the community? What I would suggest that communities do is as you go to various businesses, ask the business, are you partnered with the schools in your neighborhood? And if they're not, invite them to contact the principal or invite your principal to contact them to partner. One thing we'll be doing, and you'll start seeing these banners, businesses that partner with our schools, we will be giving them a banner that they can put in their, that they can display in their windows or somewhere in their establishments, so you will know as students and as parents, everyone will know who's supporting our schools. to see if they can establish partnerships, okay? But once we finish with the banner that will be, or I think it's a banner, the banner that we will give to all of these businesses that partner with us, we'll let you all know so you can start looking for those banners. So if you don't see a banner, you should ask the business, are you supporting our schools? Are you partnering with our schools? Okay, thank you. Let's go on this side over here.
My name is Amali Lane, and I'm representing Cedar Elementary. My question was, how can we make recycling a part of our everyday school life? Because
Recycling.
I know my family, I've been collecting the bottle caps from the water bottles, and it's a lot, and that's just one household.
Okay. Well, that's a good question. I know that there are many organizations that have recycling initiatives. I see Mr. Como over there probably searching for recycling ideas right now. I do know that it has to be a community effort, doesn't it? And we have to have certain trash cans, recycling cans, etc., in critical places around the various facilities. So we'll look at that, okay, to see about what it really takes. And I think the county is doing some type of recycling initiative. So we'll see. Mr. Colvin, can we add that to our list to look at? Very good. How many of you recycle in your homes? Very good. Excellent. Okay, I'm going on this side over here, and I'll come back. I'll come back and forth. Okay?
Hello, my name is Vanessa, and I come from GW Northside. I would like to know, I have many friends that get bullied, but not only in school, but on the bus. How can we make bullying not be so prevalent in school and on the bus?
So how can we make bullying not so prevalent? So we need to promote, and Chief Traywick, we got to push back out our anti-bullying video again this year. But what should you do if you see someone bullying someone else? And that's the key. You have to say something, and then we as the adults, as principals, the teachers, the parents, and we've got to act upon what you say. Oftentimes, children who bully, they bully because that's behavior that they have learned from some adults. And so we have to get all the adults around the table to ensure that they understand that this behavior is not acceptable. So I would say, to answer your question, let's continue to promote the anti-bullying message, but then all of us, if we see something, we got to do what? It's all about responsibility. Okay, thank you. Good question. On this side.
My name is Clayton J. Neely, and I come from the Eddie White K-8 Academy. My question is, can they be better at keeping the bathroom clean? Because sometimes when I go in the bathroom, it's balled up wet tissues on the windows.
So, that sounds like a conversation needs to be had at that school, right? With the principals, the teachers, and the who? And the students. And so, young people, again, who uses the student restrooms? And so the students who use the student restrooms have to do what? Respect those what? Those facilities. And govern themselves accordingly and appropriately. So I would say, go have a conversation. I'm giving you an assignment. You need to go have a conversation with your principal, and you all need to figure out what actions you need to take to address that and resolve that issue on your campus, okay?
I have to remember to do all that.
Okay. Go to my left.
My name is Malachi Moraine from Suter Elementary, and my question is, how do we improve the safety procedures throughout the schools?
How do we improve safety procedures throughout the schools? Well, you should know every school has a school safety plan. But we got to make sure that everybody's following what document or handbook did everybody get on the first or maybe second day of school, or at least in the first week of school. The student code of conduct, right? We need everybody adhering to the student code of what? Conduct. And we need everybody helping your peers. You all being responsible. Hold your peers accountable. And just let them know, man, that ain't cool. We got to learn. And let your teachers know. We want to learn. It's all of us working together. But it starts following that student code of conduct. The rules are very clear. If all of us did those things outlined, I think we'll have a much better place. And don't forget, if you
representative for Edward Academy, but I was wondering what do the school budgets, like what resources that are used amongst the students are impacted by the school budgets, and how can we, or what congregation is used to determine those resources?
Okay, that's a great question. So I'm going to give you an assignment. All of your principals have their budgets. So I want you to go meet with your principal and ask your principal to show you the budget. And I want that principal to show you all the line items. This is what we call them, line items that they have flexibility over, that they have control over. Okay? Now, so principals have a local budget, but guess what they also get because we're a Title I district? They get Title I federal funds, and they have control over those funds as well. So I want you to ask your principal, I'd like to see your local budget and show me the line items that you have control over, and then if you have control over these line items, Ms. Principal, can you tell me what we're doing with those funds? And then, once you finish with the local budget, ask your principal to show you their federal budget, their Title I budget, and ask them, and how are we spending these funds? But every school has a local budget and a federal fund of Title I budget. Does that make sense? So you got your assignment? All right.
Hello, my name is Alejandra Green, and I'm from GW North Carolina Elementary School. My question is, how can we decrease behavior incidents at schools, and how can the principals help that situation?
That's a great question. So you should know that on the behavior that we monitor all behaviors, but in the top 10 areas, we decreased last year in every one of those areas as a school system. So give yourselves a hand. That's a great thing. But we still have a ways to go. And so how can we do that? We've got to continue. We're providing training in social emotional learning, showing basically training to ensure that our students understand what's proper behavior in school, how teachers should respond to that behavior as not to make it worse, but to improve it. We're training on restorative justice, how we respond to ensure that our students are learning positive responses. Schools, right now we have about 40 schools implementing PBIS, that's called Positive Behavior Intervention Systems, structures, or whatever that stands for. But that is to help ensure that our students are governing themselves. It establishes expectations, positive behavior reinforcement. And so as we implement these things in our schools, they get better. Listen to me. The only reason schools have to deal with bad behavior is because people come to schools with what? Bad behavior. And so I'm not going to ever take the full responsibility of behavior and put it on schools. I need parents to model appropriate behavior in front of their children. And that is a parent and a responsibility of a what? Parent. And so one thing you can do is make sure, Mom, how are you expecting me to behave myself so when I go to school, I am what? Behaving myself. See, one thing people don't get, schools often just deal with what folk have taught children to do. Whether they taught it by omission or commission. They meant to teach it, or they taught it just because, by example. Like I said earlier, most young people who bully, you know why they bully? Because they come from households where they saw what? Bullying. And so I need the adults who understand that our actions impact children. I often say this, if you're not willing, this is good for you all. Take this and do whatever you want to do with it. If you're not willing, when you have babies, to raise them up in a way that makes it better for them, then you probably shouldn't have it. That's the truth. So we don't bear all the responsibility of discipline at schools. We deal with behaviors that someone has allowed to exist in a child, and they think that it's appropriate, and they come to school, and we have to tell them it's not what, and then we have to respond accordingly. There are things we have to do, but there are things families have to what? Because if you look at our data, most of our children do well. Most of our children do good every day in school. They behave very well. But if we isolate our data, we can figure out where our discipline issues are coming from. I'll leave it right there.
My name is Mary and I represent Country Middle School. And I want to know, how do you guys determine which high schools deserve renovation? Like, I heard Riverdale Middle, they renovated their gym and their football field, and they're getting a $20 million renovation to rebuild the whole school.
Okay, how do we make, that's a good question. So how do we decide which schools basically get renovated? We have our construction department. I don't know if Ron is here. I thought I saw her. Ron is here. Ron, come and share with us how we implement that process. That is a very good question. And I'm just impressed she even wants to know that.
Very good question. Every 5 years, we do an assessment of all our facilities, and we work in conjunction with the Georgia DOE. We assess all the needs and put a ton of dollars towards it, and we create a priority list. We present that list to the board, and the board approves that priority, and then we just go from top to bottom.
Okay, and so that every 5 years, we're in the 5-year window, and on March 19th, write this date down, March 19th, your parents will get an opportunity to go back to the polls to decide if they want to renew and continue with depending on every dollar. It's blocks, so we can keep renovating and building new facilities on March 19th of 2019. Okay? Did we answer your question? Let's go with this.
My name is Mason John Lee. I'm an 8th grader at Henry Roberts Middle School. And so last year we tried this little chicken soup thingy with the tortilla chips in it. When are we gonna get that?
I don't know. That's a lot. What you said, it was chicken soup with the. All right, come on, child nutrition, answer that question.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that you like that, because that's a signature recipe that we came up with on our own. How many other people would like to see that on the menu? Tortilla chicken soup. Okay. All righty. No, it's not. It's not fancy. Okay, we'll get back on the menu. I'll share that with the menu planning team, and you'll see it soon.
Hey, good question. Get back to the menu for the next 30 days, right?
All right, good morning. My name is Ariel Riddick, and I'm from Sweat Elementary School. And I want to know what types of additional hands-on learning will be added to do you think should be added to the classroom?
That is a great question. I'm going to answer that by, we're going to send you all a video. It's an Apple video, and that's what I want to see. I'm not going to answer that today because I don't know how to put it in words. So we found a great video. It's called our homework video, Apple homework video. So we're going to send that to everybody, and then that's going to answer the question. That's what I want to see in every school, in every classroom. So you got to look at that video. I wish we could tee it up here and show it here. I will. I'm going to send it to you so we can show it. Okay, we got to wrap it up. Let's take a few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. But I want to show you all that video. Go over here.
I'm Zion Crowder. I'm a 5th grader at Unidos Dual Language School. And I was wondering because sometimes when we go to the park, people make fun of me for playing soccer.
Okay.
Because they say I can't play soccer.
Okay, what you gonna do?
Say something.
What you gonna do?
Say something.
What you gonna do?
Say something.
You gonna ignore them. You know why? Because not what they say about you is what you think about yourself. You hear me? I was always the person who never got picked to be on the team. But that's okay. Because I knew who I was. And you have to know who you are. So my question to you is, what do you think about yourself?
I think I'm good at soccer.
Huh?
I think I'm good at soccer.
You're good at soccer, and so what are you going to do to get better at soccer?
Practice.
There you go. Is that song? Song. And ignore them. Tell them to work on their own life.
And breakfast, we have other juices.
Oh, I don't know. Audrey? They want to know why I eat milk for lunch. I'm glad she's here, y'all.
Thank you, that's a great question. Milk, we do have milk and we offer water. Water, you can get in the fountain. And I just mentioned earlier today, we're introducing infused water in our schools. But milk is the USDA beverage of choice because milk, what does it do? It helps build strong bones and strong teeth as opposed to those sugary drinks with all that sugar and high fructose corn syrup that causes tooth decay and all those other things. So milk is a beverage of choice by USDA to help build strong bones and teeth and other health benefits. So that's why we have milk in schools. Thank you very much.
I said no. Normally when it comes to federal rules, we don't like the answers. It's always so restricted. Ms. Hamilton, will you pull up something I just sent to you on your email so your laptop is open? All right. What side should I go to? That other side? Okay. Over there. Can't see you.
Hi, my name is Erin Lovett. I go to Mondays Middle School and I'm an 8th grader. I have around 3 questions.
Okay.
My first question is about the school bus system and how it picks up another route and then it picks up ours, and I really don't understand that. My second question is about the pest problem and bug problem in our school because that has showed up a lot in our school because we see bugs all the time, and I was wondering if you guys could bomb or something. And my third question is about the uniforms and how high schoolers get to wear whatever they want, or you're trying to do that, but middle schoolers and elementary schoolers can't do that.
So I'm gonna start with the third question. And so we'll make a decision about the uniform of the high school students, and that's the only level that we plan on addressing. Everyone else will remain the same. Okay? Uniforms. When you get to high school, whatever we decide to do, you'll be able to enjoy it. Okay? Relative to transportation, Mr. Walker is here. He's our transportation guy. It could be the case that the buses picking up more than one route, but I don't know. Mr. Walker can check into that. And then relative to the bug situation, you said Monday's middle school. We may need to see if we can go and get the exterminator to come out there. Okay, but I don't know. Get our maintenance department to check it out. Mrs. Coley, you got that one written down? You got that on this list, okay?
Thank you, sir. The reason why is that it's even the state of Georgia, we are in a driver shortage. So now what happens is school bus drivers now have to run double routes. So normally we're going to be 15 minutes late till we get to school. But now while we got this opportunity to open up, please remember that we always looking for good school bus drivers. So anybody know anything, go to the website and let's be able to sign up. We're looking for good quality school bus drivers. But the reason is why? Because of school bus shortage, okay?
That's a statewide issue.
That's a statewide issue, sir.
Okay, thank you.
We'll work on that, trying to make it pay more in our district so they'll come to us. But we got to get there, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, what I'd like to do, I want to pause us. And if you have questions and you just feel like you can hang around afterwards, we'll be here. But I want you all to see this video to answer the homework question. Here's the homework question. You said, what do I want it to look like? This is what I'd love to see in every school, in every classroom, every day in our school system. So go ahead and play the video.
Please, eyes up here. Eyes up here, well done. Group 3, let's have Ivy and Michael, Ryan, Sally, and Thomas. Thomas, your homework is to explore gravity. Okay, don't forget, projects are due on Friday. Friday, please. Friday, and don't forget your homework.
Homework. Oh, homework. I hate you. You stink. I wish I could wash you away in the sink. If only I had a bow would smash you to bits. Homework. No homework. You're giving me fat. I'd rather take baths with a man-eating shark or wrestle a lion alone in the dark. Eat spinach and liver. Got 10 porcupines. Then tackle the homework my teacher assigns. Homework. No homework. You were last on my list. I simply can't see why you even exist. If you just disappeared, it would tickle me pink.
Next up, Group 3.
Homework. Oh, homework. I hate you. You stink.
You see how they were using the technology to learn about gravity and to get outside and explore and apply what they learned and to learn more. I want to see kids engaged. I just don't like boring schools. I don't like boring school systems. I don't like a lot of worksheets. They may have a place, but I want to see kids engaged. That's why we got Rod and his team working on a Chromebook initiative where we get a device in the hands of all of our 3rd through 12th grade students over the next few years. We got to just take engagement to another level in our district. We ought to be, as you saw those kids doing, we ought to be learning and using all the tools. You don't even have to have an iPad to do some of that. Some of that, you all have phones. You can get out in your own environment and explore the various concepts. You got so many tools that we did not have when we were in school at your fingertips. All of your phones are like computers. We didn't have those type of devices. You all can record things, make videos. You can do so much more. But what are we doing? I don't want you to answer that. I'm just asking, what are we doing? Are you doing those things? And so what we're getting ready to do and what we're preparing to do, we're stimulating our culture. We are showing everyone how we actually approach instruction, not as something foreign, but in an engaging, fun, stimulating way. And so we want to see the use of technology, the use of resources to help students develop the 4 C's: critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. That's what we want to see. So to answer your question, that's what I want to see. And I want you all to be prepared to go anywhere. Go work for Google, work for Apple, go work for the New York Stock Exchange, wherever you want to go. Go fly a plane, go build planes, whatever it is. That's what we want you to be able to do when you come from Clayton County Public Schools. Is that fair enough? All right, so we got to go so we can get you all back. And so I know y'all have some burning questions. Are they that burning that you can't wait till the next time? Or give the questions to Nikki. Nikki, raise your hand, and then we'll answer the questions, and then we'll send it out to everybody with the responses. Is that fair enough? So let's do that. And you're going to be my last question today.
So everyone else in line, if you would step to my left, in the corner here, and see Nikki, we'll make sure that we document your questions so we can send you an email response. Thank you.
You're the last question today.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Nyla Steele, and I attend E.W. Oliver Elementary. I just heard you had a plan on changing the way students act or behave, but my question is, do you have any advice for me because it is affecting my friends and everyone's education?
For the discipline, you said it's affecting your friend, your education. So what advice do I have for you? If discipline is disrupting your educational process, then we need to make sure the teacher and your principal are aware. And adults in the building who we have tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that your instructional time is protected from such disruptions, okay? So my advice to you is I want you to inform your teacher, and then I want you to go back and inform your principal. What's your name?
Nyla.
Naya, I'm going to follow up with your principal to see if you had a conversation with your principal about what's specifically occurring that's disruptive to your educational process in your classroom. Okay, what grade are you in? 5th grade?
Yes.
All right, we need to fix that because we got to get you to 6th grade, on or above the grade level.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That being all, well, I've enjoyed it. Have you all enjoyed it today? Well, we appreciate you. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go back, debrief with your principal, let them know what happened, what we talked about. We'll follow up with the Q&A as we've already shared. Talk to your peers. Remember, we're trying to learn at high levels. Use the questions that Dr. Lee gave you in the quadrants. The goal is to go to quadrant D. Get to quadrant D as often as you can. Think critically. Be creative. Collaborate. Be the best student that you can be. And we'll continue to see our school district move in the right direction. Is that good? Thank you all. Get back to school safely and have a great lunch.